There he is, there he is! Woohoo! How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, good.
We're rocking out here.
Yeah, good to see you.
Boom! Just getting some B-roll of the train. Well, super excited to be here in South Jordan, Utah. This is the South Jordan downtown track station. I just came in, got off here, and I have a special guest who is going to show me around the neighborhood. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Mike West. I'm a huge advocate for active cities, love active towns. I'm also a planning manager for Lehigh City. It's a city nearby here, but South Jordan is my home, so I thought it'd be fun to take a tour around, show all that's great around here.
Yeah, and you've been on the channel before. You've been a past guest on the podcast, and we've been trying to make this happen for the better part of 3 years. So let's kind of roll down and talk a little bit about this transit station and this neighborhood, and then we'll get out and like really explore your neighborhood, your community of Daybreak.
Yeah, so
all right, cool. Let's do it. And we're rolling on this interesting little two-way cycle track here that's right next to this fascinating little development. Why don't you talk a little bit about what we're rolling past?
Yeah, so this is the brand new, what they're calling downtown Daybreak.
Okay.
And this track station was called the Downtown South Jordan Station, so they're kind of seeing this as the urban center of this community.
Okay.
It's all developing right now, but they have the brand new Bees Stadium, Salt Lake Bees.
So Salt Lake Bees Stadium, so this is baseball.
Yep, baseball.
And is this a minor league team?
Yeah, minor league.
Okay, affiliated with which major?
Let's see, I believe it's the A's.
Oh, the A's, Oakland A's. Yep. Okay, fantastic. So that was kind of fun. That was just a really short little stint there, and then we've got our absolutely necessary sea of asphalt for parking for the stadium.
This area is
stadium's over here.
Very much an area in development. So
yeah.
2 years ago, this was just a field.
This was just a field.
I believe the plan is over time, parking lots get redeveloped into housing and mixed use.
Yeah.
And structured parking starts to get introduced.
Okay, so they'll replace the surface parking with structured parking with housing above.
That's at least what I've seen in the plans, and I sure hope so.
Well, and that makes sense. I mean, this is land banking because it's not the highest and best use
so
valuable land. So, yeah.
So works for now, and then in the future, it'll introduce and continue to develop.
Yeah. Fantastic, great. Well, let's swing around and go back down what we just came down, and then I'll let you lead the way. Tell us where we're going.
Let's do it.
All right. And feel free to give a little bit more context in terms of, this whole area and the how and why that you all came to want to call this home.
Yeah, so I call Daybreak a bit of an oasis surrounded by typical suburban sprawl.
Okay.
I wish it was a little closer to the center of the region. But it's the one place where you feel safe to raise your kids here, not necessarily just from like crime and stuff, and there's all that fear with the city, but because of the road system and everything's safer.
Yeah. We'll go roll back down here again, just because we can say we did it.
Yeah. So Daybreak is probably the closest thing that Utah has seen to kind of a systematic safety as well, just the way the streets are designed and laid out.
Oh, really? Interesting.
They've got curb extensions throughout the community, narrow streets, and a lot of two-way yield streets. Yeah. A lot of bike paths, things like that. So overall, the community was built with a vision, whereas some cities seem to just kind of come together as patchwork.
Yeah.
Every little property gets developed a piece at a time, but this was one big vision. It all started in the early 2000s when it started construction. So they're about 20 years into it now and still have a ways to go.
Fantastic. And we can see that the Salt Lake City, or the Utah Transit, right?
Yep, Utah Transit Authority. So this is the TRAX line, so our light rail system. So this actually connects all the way to downtown Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And up all the way to the University of Utah.
And talk about a really valuable asset from a mobility perspective. That's what I came in on.
Yeah.
And Yeah, I mean, this is the first time, in all the times that I've visited Salt Lake City, this is the first time I've ridden the transit. And I'm like, oh man, this is so easy and convenient and yeah, connects, you know, far off locations. Because how many miles is it to downtown?
Oh, yeah, you're between 15, 20 miles to get to downtown from here. So it's pretty far out here, honestly.
Yeah.
But having this light rail connection was critical with their initial planning of Daybreak. So that was one of the first things.
Now, in 2 days on Wednesday, I'm going to meet up with you down in the community where you work, down in Lehigh, and so I'll get on a different train and system. Is it still part of the same Utah Transit Authority?
Yeah, Utah Transit Authority runs the train as well. That's a commuter line, but it stretches the length of the Wasatch Front from Provo up to Ogden and all points in between.
Fantastic.
And they're currently working on double tracking that one to get 15-minute peak service, so that'll be pretty nice. So we got a green light. Let's head on over.
Let's do it. All right.
We're going to go through a lot of different places within the community to look at not just active transportation and transportation infrastructure, but also land use is super important to getting people out on bike and foot.
Yeah.
Because when everything's super spread out, then you're more inclined and incentivized to drive a car.
Yeah, and that's very much a part of your gig, your job as a planner. Yeah.
Doing the best I can. It's not always easy to do in real life, but you got to have the right players at the table, as well as the political officials who have the vision as well. So.
Yeah. Well, as we're starting to roll into the actual housing here, we're seeing that this is nice, gentle density here. Yeah. Very, very cool. How has this really been received by, you know, the population here?
Yeah, so there's all kinds of opinions all over the place, honestly.
Oh, sure. But I'm assuming that people are moving in. I'm assuming they're not sitting vacant.
This is one of the fastest growing communities in Utah, so I think it's the best-selling master plan community in Utah.
Yeah.
I believe that's for a reason, because of the way they lay out the neighborhoods and the different housing types.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you just mentioned different housing types, because boom, after half a block, we went from the gentle density of multifamily to some, you know, single family homes, but on postage stamp size lots. Still nice, gentle density. Good stuff.
What I love about places like this is a lot of other cities, whenever you bring up the word density, people just immediately, the NIMBYs come out and, whoa, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I don't know why density has become a nasty word. Do you have any theories on that?
I think it's for the things that people fear that come with it.
Yeah.
People, you know, maybe
when they see this, they don't go, oh, I hate this.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part.
I mean, for some people, what they really want is a 5-acre parcel.
Yep.
And that's not what this is.
Yeah.
But, you know.
What I love about this is, although it is more dense, smaller lots, all different types of housing, you have a lot of community space, and I think that's a critical element.
Oh yeah, look at this on the left.
So, and this is just one of the small spaces, but throughout the whole community, there's park spaces and greenways.
Though that actually almost looked with the way that these houses are sort of situated around these little green spaces, it almost creates like a little mini pocket neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brings a lot of people together. One of the requirements for the architecture of homes in Daybreak is a lot of front porches. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, we've got a beautiful front porch there on 5111, and absolutely beautiful there. In what I love about having that type of architecture with those front porches is it creates a sense of sociability and neighborliness, because you know, when you walk your dog in the neighborhood or you're out for a ride with the family, you're able to see your neighbors.
Yeah, and I can attest to this because I've got a front porch in my house, and we'll go sit out there, say hi to our neighbors walking down the street.
Yeah.
And even small differences, like a lot of cities might have large setbacks in the front.
Yeah.
So, 25, 30 feet back to the front of your house.
Yeah.
But here the houses are closer, so there's more opportunity for that interaction.
Okay.
Like my house sits 15 feet from the sidewalk, so it's much more of a human scale.
Yeah, when you have that little bit of separateness, but at the same time you're close enough to be able to make eye contact and say, oh, hey, Mike, how's it going? You know, that's cool.
Yeah, see your neighbors. And then across the street from my house, for example, there's a big courtyard, grassy area. My daughter just goes across over there, and all the neighborhood kids play together in there.
Yeah. Now, we're not sure how many folks that we're going to see out and about right now, because it is about 100 degrees, literally.
Pretty toasty, but I did see a good number of people on my way over here. So.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw some middle schoolers getting off the transit line too. You know, it's like,
it's pretty cool that it's an option.
Now, what year did this all get kind of started?
So I believe construction started either 2003, but for sure 2004.
Okay.
On the first phase, which is towards the south end here.
Yeah. Fantastic. And we had the Congress for New Urbanism here in Salt Lake City in 2015.
Oh yeah.
So it's been a decade since that gathering. This reminds me a lot of, a standard, new urbanism development.
Yeah. It's got all the principles and features.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the largest in the country, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So this is one of two arterial roads that crosses through Daybreak.
Okay.
We're going to cross these in this refuge space here, but we've got a bit of traffic coming.
Yeah.
But
and we see that this is an unprotected sort of crossing here for us, but
it's nice to take it in two stages.
We'll have to risk it, not too bad, and see the timing of the platoons, and we are able to go by, through just fine.
So up here, we're going to check out a little courtyard space. We're going to go up this driveway and up over on this sidewalk here.
All right, cool.
Sometimes in the overall big picture, there's so many great things, but there are little details sometimes that you realize, that'd be nice. Like this had a ramp down to the street, the raised crossing or something.
Let's make that a little bit easier connection. Well, and let's talk a little bit about that too, is that we hadn't really seen any cycling infrastructure yet. We just saw, quiet, low volume, low speed streets, which is fine. It's part of it. Yeah. But
we will get to some like shared use paths. That is one thing about Daybreak. It's I won't call it bike specific. There aren't like protected bike lanes. Other than that new bike path in front of the B Stadium, that's new for the community. But a lot of it's shared use paths, which are really nice to have. But there's a lot of things that aren't bike specific, but it is very bikeable.
Yeah. Fantastic.
What I love about this is this whole area here is car free, and these housing units were built to be more of an affordable option.
Okay.
So you have all these doors and front porches towards these common public spaces, and this goes all the way up through the block. So this entire block and area here is car free. So they kind of like what the Dutch do. The Dutch do it on a small and a large scale, but the disentangling of modes. So your cars are in the back in an alleyway, and all of your pedestrian space, your community spaces are separated from that.
Right.
So this is obviously it's a little hot, so not as many people here today.
Maybe later this evening, as the sun goes down. It's a little after 6 p.m. right now, and it's still, like I said, pretty hot. I'm looking at this going, where would somebody in a wheelchair go? Yeah,
that is one thing I was just realizing. It's not wheelchair friendly here.
That was, and that's one of the details. One of the things that kind of slipped past.
I've got my son uses a wheelchair, so I'm always pretty sensitive to seeing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna go down this way, and we're gonna go towards a park.
Okay.
There are some places where we will just have to ride on the sidewalk a bit.
Okay.
So go on up over this way. And just like most new urbanist communities, trees are a very important part of it, so there's trees everywhere. Oh, and there's some more of the car-free spaces all the way through that block. But everywhere you go, there's lots of trees, and especially in the older neighborhoods, and they're starting to mature. You have a lot of shade in the summertime.
Right.
So we're gonna take a right here. So yeah, this is kind of your typical residential street.
Yeah.
Two-way yield, a little narrower than what you typically might see in other parts of Utah.
Right.
And by US standards, this is fairly narrow.
Yeah.
But I do love how you have the different housing types all working together.
Right, yeah.
Some people have come to me and say, this just can't happen. You can't have those kinds of housing next to each other, but clearly it works great.
Clearly it's working.
So I'll go straight here. One thing I like to note too is these curb extensions here.
Yeah.
Take it down to 16 feet of asphalt.
Yeah.
Which, again, some engineers feel like, oh, there's no way that could possibly work. But what it does is just slows everybody down. So if somebody's there, you just wait for them to leave and then you can turn.
Yeah.
And overall, it's safer for everybody because you don't have people flying around the corner.
So when you're having these conversations, elsewhere, and folks are saying, well, this just can't work, do you kind of chuckle and say, here, let me show you around my neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah, we have those conversations and some people just won't be won over.
Yeah. Here's another one of those little paseo
so this is a
areas.
big greenway going all the way down
both
here.
Sides.
But
absolutely fabulous.
Definitely, it's really nice having Daybreak here as a local example.
Yeah.
Because it really has inspired other places. Maybe they haven't built quite to the degree as Daybreak has or how big it is. But it has influenced developments in other parts of the region here.
Right.
So it really does serve as a good example. Maybe some of those other developments wouldn't have been as nice without this being here first. So.
Yeah, this really reminds me a lot of Mueller in Austin, which used to be our airport. The only difference that I can see, because everything just feels very, very familiar. The only difference is there on their busier streets, they actually put in Dutch-inspired protected bikeways.
Yep, and they even have the protected intersections.
Yeah, including Texas's first protected intersection, which was really cool to have that in place. But this is so encouraging.
I've looked at Miller District quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I use that as inspiration as well. They've done some great things, especially on the that's more bike specific, I would say, because they're logically
there's portions
thinking
of it are, but there's plenty of it that are just like this.
Yeah, just neighborhood streets. Yeah.
Just quiet neighborhood streets that are sized appropriately.
Yeah.
That they had to negotiate and talk with the fire department, which I'm sure Daybreak needed to do too.
Yep.
And I'm sure you have that conversation a lot in your own city. Yeah. When you're talking about these bulb outs, going down and creating like a 16-foot section, then you need to have that discussion of saying that, this isn't going to be a deal breaker from the standpoint of, emergency services.
Yeah.
So
what I appreciated too is the council that was in South Jordan at the time Daybreak was coming together. Mm-hmm. Had the willingness and the vision to also accept us into the community, because they could have said, no, we don't really want that here.
Right.
But they went with it, and now we've got this great community coming together out here.
Interesting too. So what you're saying is that the Daybreak itself was kind of conceived and developed, and at the time it was exterior to the city of South Jordan, and then it got annexed in. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think there was portions annexed. I don't know the full kind of history behind that, but the council did have to agree to the whole master development agreement and everything. So because they had the willingness to look at it, it's here today.
Yeah. And it becomes their new downtown.
Yep.
Because now they're envisioning that, this is where this is all going to happen.
Really cool, and they're super excited about the B Stadium and having an urban center in that part of the community. So and the urban center here is just barely starting, really. I mean, that was that first big step. Yeah. So the highest of density, I think, is still to come for Daybreak.
Okay.
But this right here is really cool. It's it goes to show This is a little bit larger one of the parks here in Daybreak. It introduces like a little creek feature. It's called Creekside Park.
Okay.
That the kids can play in. And it really, you can see how all the houses front on towards it, so you have a lot of eyes on the street.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Even up on top of this hill, the only way to access those houses is that little alleyway over there, but they
Okay.
come right out onto the park as well.
Nice.
So everything's all about getting eyes on the street,
Right.
about providing lots of opportunity for interaction
Yeah.
and activity. So this is definitely a favorite of kids coming around here to this
Yeah.
park.
And I noticed behind you here, we've got, you know, a sort of a school warning sign,
Oh, yeah.
kind of letting you know that you're in a school zone area. Where is the school from here?
So there's a middle school and elementary school just right over here,
okay.
past these houses.
Okay.
And there's several elementary schools in the community,
Great.
and one of them we're actually going to visit. So
Okay. All
that'd
right.
be cool. Well, let's
All
go
right.
on down through
Carry
the park
on.
here.
Yeah. What I love about this too is that, you know, when you have an entire community that, you know, has activity assets like these multi-use paths and these quiet residential streets, you know, throughout the entire area, connecting to parks, connecting to schools, connecting to other meaningful destinations, you know, like the stadium, like the coffee shops, like the restaurants, like employment locations. You're able to, you know, just encourage people to leave the car behind.
Yeah.
And, you know, jump on the bike.
That's what I love about it here is they make it fun to get out. So it's like, well, I don't want to drive the car. That's boring. This is fun to get out here.
Yeah.
So it really kind of makes me think of the 5 design principles from the Dutch Crow Manual, but one of them is the attractiveness principle.
Yeah.
And they do that really well here. So that's pretty big with convincing people to get out and get on the bike or take a walk.
Oh, I totally agree.
So a lot of people love to get out.
I love this little underpass here.
Yeah.
We saw this little kiddo scooting by on his push scooter, and
you've
now we've got this little
got
creek.
the little creek here and some picnic tables. This is the arterial road above us, so there are points where you can cross it grade separated, which is really nice.
Beautiful.
And there's there's a little bit farther out of the way, but there's a huge regional park just in the north here too. So because this crosses under right here, that gives a point for people to get there.
Look at the architecture here too. This is really hearkening back to the Western heritage and past. You know, some of the architecture, some of these houses look like they could have been a farmhouse out here in the middle of the field, you know. Very, very cool that it's kind of blended in. There's different architectural styles. We've got these mallard ducks just hanging out, enjoying us. I saw lots of examples of rain gardens and green features throughout. There's just a lot of attention to detail here.
And this is one of the big greenways that leads to the biggest open space of all. So we're going to turn right on this promenade path here.
Oh, look at this. And this is done in pavers.
Yep.
So again, a little bit different context, a little different surface.
So it's a bit wider.
It's wider, but it gives a little haptic feedback to us that says, hey, slow down, you on the bike. So it's not the smoothest of surfaces for somebody in a hard-wheeled wheelchair.
Yep.
But it's doing the purpose of the design, which is to slow us down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, of course, this space is all car-free, and again, you got the houses fronting onto it, the garage is on the back.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that too, because when we were talking about the front porches, we weren't talking about what was missing, and that was driveways. That was because they were all alley access.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are houses here with driveways off the front, but even when they do that, they shrink it to just a one-car width.
Okay.
Whereas it crosses the sidewalk, so they minimize its presence. But
and do they have an actual garage in the front, or is the garage typically in the back?
The garages are accessed off the front, but they're recessed.
Okay.
So the house pops out, and you don't notice the garage.
And you don't notice, so you're not looking at a Snout House.
Yep.
Nice. I love it.
Nope. No Snout Houses here.
Yeah. So for people who don't know what I mean by Snout House, I'll drop in a photo so that you can see what a Snout House is.
Unfortunately, down in Lehigh, we've got some Snout Houses, but that was a curse of the 90s.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, so we've got a blank canvas here in a couple of different lots that need to be done, but I see a Harmon's neighborhood grocery store right there. So this is your grocery store.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to take us out there, but I want to just take us down here real quick. And you can just kind of see all of the different housing types around here. You've got the apartment building, the mixed use over here.
Yeah.
Townhomes. These are actually some townhomes here and some single family all mixed in together.
I love that you were able to, like, as a community, you were able to superimpose the painting of the mountains in the background. It makes it look like it's Switzerland or something.
It's just right there.
That's the beautiful thing about being here in this region, is that just like when I'm in Boulder and we've got the Flatirons and the Continental Divide and the Rocky Mountains right there, we've got the Wasatch Mountains, sort of behind us here. What's the name of that tallest peak right in front of us?
That's Lone Peak right there.
Okay.
There's a taller peak that you can barely see poking up over there. That's Timpanogos. That's more down in Utah Valley.
Nice.
And then the tallest mountain in the mountain range you actually can't see, it's Mount Nebo.
It's down that way, yeah.
But this one's approaching 12,000 feet here, but it's right, the city goes right up to the mountains. It's actually our natural growth boundary, and I'm very glad they're there. So it kind of keeps the city's sprawl in check a little bit.
Yeah, fantastic.
But I love it. This lake here, the coolest thing about this whole area is not only is it super fun and a nice place to come out to, you can see people walking, kids fishing around the lake here. Yeah. But the trail that circumnavigates this is, I think, a 3.5 mile loop around the entire lake. That you can do the whole loop and you can reach many destinations without crossing paths with a single street. Some of the destinations like the Harmons here, you might have to cross the local street. Right. We have access to a huge part of the community in a similar way that you might find in a place like Houghton. So it's very normal to see kids, young kids even going around. Like these guys over here probably came out on their own to do some fishing. Oh yeah, there they are. I see kids all the time on their own, just riding their bikes over to the Harmons over here. Love to get their little snacks and things
So
like
for
that.
people who don't know what a Harmons is, I know because I shopped there earlier today.
That's right.
But why don't you describe what a Harmons is?
Yeah, Harmons is just a grocery store chain that's local to Utah. They started off with your kind of more mid-box, typical grocery stores you might see elsewhere. But lately they've been doing more of these smaller scale stores. They've done one up in Salt Lake. They did one over in Holiday on the east side of the valley here. And now they've got one here in Daybreak. So it's a smaller scale store. It's like a 20,000 square foot store. And they actually have even a smaller parking lot than you might find. So they don't have a big sprawling parking lot outside either. So and it's been fine. It's very rare that they even fill up that parking lot. If it does, you got a lot of street parking around here. So.
And I can confirm the one that I shopped at was in the downtown location, and I didn't see a single car parking spot. I'm sure there must have been underneath the building, but it was definitely an urban grocery store. I went right up to the front door and locked my bike right in front and went in. And I have to say, just a tremendous quality of a store. It felt very much, for me, I do most of my shopping at Whole Foods because I'm within, less than 2 miles from the Whole Foods headquarters, really and cool. It reminded me a lot of the quality and the presentation of a Whole Foods. Yes, I know, folks. It probably cost me a little bit more to shop there, but that's my local store. I love it. So
what I find, because this store costs a little bit more too, than say your typical, especially like a Walmart or something. But,
Sure.
But because it's so convenient to go to, it's kind of like when I was over in the Netherlands. Your store is so close to you, you don't need to go buy like 2 weeks of groceries. You go, you buy something for the next day or two, and you come back, and I actually find you waste less doing that.
I was going to say too is that since we didn't have to invest in a second car, I was able to just get a cargo bike. I do my grocery shopping with the cargo bike, and so I can afford to pay just a little bit more for my groceries because I don't have a second car payment and insurance and upkeep. So there you go.
Yeah, that's huge savings when you do that.
Boom. I love it. Good stuff. All right, let's head back.
Let's go over and take a look at the Harmons area.
It'll
be fun.
And I love this too, just how incredibly close this is to everybody, being able to literally just walk to the grocery store, walk to the restaurant. Do we know what's going to go in place in this this vacant lot? So it looks like it's kind of parkland area since it's on this side.
I believe some of this stays as open space, which there was community outcry when all this is going in because like, hey, we love the dirt lot. It was a big dirt lot because we were just saving it for future development.
Yes, of
course. They even had signs that said future development, but
it's like, people, come on, you need a place to shop without getting in your car.
Yep, but it's not like they're getting rid of all the open space. They have some, and I believe they may have some more townhomes going over on this space here.
Okay.
That'll
So it might
kind of
be more
feed into
housing.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe something like those townhomes.
Yeah, yeah. All
So
right.
that's
I'll
my
let you go
understanding.
ahead.
Yeah. Come on, you left.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Some of the small details that'd be nice. It'd be nice if there's a bike ramp right here, so you don't have to come
Yeah,
up to the pedestrian crosswalk.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Overall, in the big picture, it still works.
Yep. The fine tuning.
Here's kind of the entrance of the Harmons.
Nice.
So you can see this
And
is
natural cream puffs. Pop.
Yeah, I got the little
papas.
shops next door. So this
Yeah.
is all the parking lot is for the store.
Okay.
Got the bike parking over here,
Yeah.
and then they have some kind of spaces out to the front of the
Yeah.
store here as well. In fact, we'll come around this corner right here. This will be a good stop right here real quick. So you can see, like, even across here, you got all kinds of housing types.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate having the arterial road here is a bit of a barrier in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as arterial roads in Utah go, this one's definitely better than
Okay.
what's out there. On the west part of Daybreak, we won't be making it up there today, but
Okay.
they've actually done even more traffic calming to their arterials than right here.
Okay.
But what I do appreciate is they use roundabouts here on each end of this area
Okay.
to help keep the speeds down. They do have crossing points to get over to the neighborhood to the north.
Yeah.
But they did a nice urban kind of street frontage here. You can walk right into the store right here if you're walking.
Right.
Obviously you can drive if you wanted to, but the parking lot is very much minimized. It's
Right.
not your big sprawling parking lots you see in typical kind of US suburbs. So
Yeah.
it really makes it a lot more compact,
Yeah, yeah.
which really lends itself to be more walkable and bikeable as well.
Yeah, obviously, opportunity here with this a little bit more major arterial, going through here. You have to believe that it's just oversized. I can't imagine that you really need this much. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Southwest Salt Lake Valley is, the hardest thing about it is you have a lot of arterials
Yeah.
going east and west.
yeah,
There's no, there's a big space where there's no freeways, which is good on one hand.
yeah,
But on the other hand, you end up with all these kind of stroads coming
Yeah.
out that
Yeah.
aren't very nice to use for anybody.
yeah,
Through here, it's a little better than the other parts of the valley, but
yeah.
still, there's a considerable amount of development still going off to the west, so I just hope they don't widen these any
Yeah.
further.
Well, yeah, I mean, to widen it, it's already more wide than it needs to be,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
guaranteed. And we just saw somebody, activating the crosswalk there and causing traffic to have to, yield and slow down. And to my point, your point, is that, we could design this so that it just can, encourages and reinforces a slow speed,
Yeah.
but there's a continuous speed
Yep.
of slowness. So, and you could do that, like you said, with a low speed, slow speed traffic circle and that sort
Yeah.
of environment. It's going to be the same net in terms of how, when it's crowded, you're averaging 15 miles per hour when
Yep.
you calculate in all your stops. So,
So I've
yeah.
actually collected for the past 4 years my own, all of my travel that I do.
Yeah.
I keep track with Strava, but when I drive, I also track that.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Even when there's not that bad of traffic,
Yeah.
because you're waiting at traffic lights,
Yeah.
it's like 20
Your-
miles an hour
Your
average.
functional speed is,
Yep.
is like, just
like-
design it for that at the beginning and then reduce the amount of real estate. Because
Yeah.
if we come over this way and look at what we're talking about here, because basically what we have in this STROAD is we have a door zone bike lane.
Yep.
And yeah, it just, you're not gonna go out there with your kids,
Nope.
so
The saving grace for
Yeah.
Daybreak is the connected network of local streets that you don't even
Exactly.
have to really deal with this
yeah,
road on
you
a
just
bike.
have to cross it on occasion.
Yep.
Well, speaking of which, let's get the hell out of here. This sucks.
Yep, let's do it.
Let's move on.
Let's head on over this way, and we're gonna go take a look at a little plaza space.
Okay.
Yeah, here you see a few more of the shops and the restaurants.
Nice.
And then you got some of the housing. They got a little cookie shop in the bottom there.
Yeah.
They got a new restaurant coming in here called The Break at the lake.
Nice.
It's a bar and grill. And they're gonna
Love the
activate
art
that
installations
space.
here
Yeah.
too.
Those light up at nighttime.
Yeah.
And then as you come down this way, I do like how they've used these little bump outs on all the way up and down the street to visually narrow it. But even so, it could probably still be narrower than this.
Sure.
And as we come up here, we're going to take a left here and then a right. So
Okay.
this townhome development has some kind of community space within the middle of it. But also this little street over here, I think is 16 feet of asphalt total here, and then you've got the parking space. So
Yeah.
definitely going to slow people down a bit more than your typical wide streets that are undefined.
Yeah.
This defines the parking space and brings more greenery into it.
Yeah.
And right here you can see this Plaza space.
I love it.
You
Yeah.
can probably just off the curb here.
Yeah.
You can see how, same as everywhere else, cars go behind, but you have all this greenery in here and natural kind of plantings with the sunflowers and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite quiet in here compared to being right next to even the road just being right there.
Yeah.
Well, this makes a really nice, peaceful space for people to come out into.
What's interesting too is it's a completely unprogrammed space other than the design that encourages all those rain gardens, but you could totally just see that you could have a little neighborhood party here and just pull out a whole bunch of lawn chairs and folding chairs and have a picnic. Very cool.
And I love that it opens up towards the lake here as well.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna hop on this lake path and we're
Okay.
gonna go around the lake over here a little bit.
I love this little bit of art here.
Yeah.
That's really kind of channeling in the kids
Yep.
in the trailer and
Kids
saying,
on the
"Okay,
bike."
Dad, get us to where we're going." Oh, and look at that! There's a little one
Yep,
on
on
the
the front.
frame too. Very Dutch. How Dutch of
Yep.
them! I love
I do
it.
love that they have art installations, and later on we'll actually go on what they call the art walk, and there's several installations up there.
Yeah.
You can see how they try and bring some of the natural. Actually, these are invasive here, but they got the cattails and things here, creating a bit of a wetland area along the lake. So
Yeah.
it's this kind of natural feeling open space in the heart of the community.
Very nice. And this little section for people walking,
Yeah.
go through the boardwalk area there, right through the tulies,
Yep.
right through the cattails.
And what's nice is you have all these green spaces along the housing here as well.
Yeah.
You have different housing types again. You got townhomes and even standalone homes over here. Then you even have, again, all throughout the community, have all these green spaces
Yeah.
that are people only that come out into the major open spaces. On your left.
Looking back towards our little fishing dock area where we were at, the
Some
pier.
people fishing out there now.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it later as well, but there's a place where residents here can rent kayaks for free.
Okay.
So you can kayak the whole lake. So they don't allow motorized boat on this lake. It's either
Okay.
paddle boards or kayak, but you can get out here. You can bring your own if you live here and get it registered to take out on the lake.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the concerns that I have when I see a planned unit development like this is the challenges with the properties being able to age gracefully and evolve over time. Do you get the sense as to whether you can, add an ADU if you need to add an EDU? And
That's going to be the tough thing
so-
with any of these master plan communities. They're
Yeah.
a little more rigid.
Right.
So there are rules and things on that. We may see some in the East Lake neighborhood, but there are some that were pre-built that way where they have a detached garage with an ADU on top.
Right.
So they do have some, but to come after the fact
Yeah.
might be a little different.
And I think that that's one of the things that, developments like this can future-proof themselves by is make it easier for the
Well, for
residents
that
to be
kind of-
able to do that, because maybe something changes with
Yeah.
your situation.
Well,
You know, you have a child with special needs, and
Yep.
other families might as well, and they may need, you know, an ADU, a grandmother's quarters, and something like that. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah, I think that it's just a very family-friendly type of thing, and it gives it gives communities the ability to evolve and be able to add a little bit more housing opportunity for folks.
Yeah.
Again, a little gentle density.
I will say the state did change the code that most houses in the state now have to allow an internal accessory dwelling,
Okay.
kind of like what California did. We're going to turn right here.
Okay.
And there are some kind of stipulations where they allowed cities not to allow them everywhere. They say a certain percentage of the city doesn't. So a lot of cities have said, all right, well, the master plan communities have maxed their density, so we're not going to allow them there.
Right.
I don't know for sure on Daybreak if that's the case or not, but
Yeah.
that was in Lehigh. Hi. One thing you'll notice is the paths in the older part of Daybreak here are only 8 feet wide, and that's actually quite narrow for
Yeah.
the amount of use these get.
Right.
According to AASHTO's new bike guide, these would be a level of service F. So
Okay.
just with how much use they get, there's sometimes where it's easier just to go right in the street to get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're in just hurrying to get home.
Talk a little bit about you know, the management, upkeep, and all that of this. Is the community at the maturity to the point where management of it has been turned over to homeowners association, or is it still developer controlled?
So there's a master association that's in place,
Yep.
but there's some of the members that are on that are part of the developer.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna turn left here. So, and then they have some resident representation on that as well, but there is a master association that will stay in place
Okay.
long after it's completed.
Okay.
And then there's some smaller kind of sub HOAs,
Right.
like the upkeep of townhomes or condos, stuff like that.
Right.
Now, I kind of want to stop right here real quick.
Yeah.
'Cause what I do love is you can stand here, and there is an arterial road about a half mile that way, and there's the one up there that we were just by. But if you just stop and listen, and you hear nature basically.
Yeah.
So because they've made these great spaces, you have a lot of birds and other animals living down here in these spaces,
Yeah.
and you just really don't hear the roads too much from here. So you
Yeah.
can escape, even though it's higher density, you can escape, and it's not the concrete jungle that everybody says
Right.
density is, or loud, dangerous roads everywhere. Like, it's quiet here, it's
Yeah.
enjoyable, but you still have so many people that are just right here next to it,
Right.
and you wouldn't even really realize it.
Yeah.
So I do love it here. But I always like to push back on the whole kind of density issue. Anytime I bring up density, somebody always refers to New York City.
Right.
It's like, in their mind, it's either suburbs or New York City.
Right.
Like, there's so much in between,
Yeah.
and their design can vary so widely
Yeah.
that
It's not going directly to 40, 60-story towers.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even 12-story. Not even 12-story.
I mean, a lot of the Dutch cities even, I mean, you
Yeah.
get some skyscrapers. I mean, Rotterdam's
Yeah.
maybe an exception. They got a lot of skyscrapers. But,
Yeah.
but a lot of the cities there really don't, generally go too tall with their buildings compared to like New York City or things. So.
I think more than anything, that argument is a little bit of a red herring in the sense that they just don't want any change whatsoever.
That right there, you're hitting the nail on the head. Is some people just don't like change, even if it could be a good change.
Yeah.
People fear change these days.
Yeah.
Whereas I think you go back to like the 1960s, a lot of people may have had more of an attitude that change was good, and
Yeah.
they support a lot of different things going on.
Yeah.
But today, now people
Yeah.
kind of perceive it as a negative thing.
Yeah. Okay, Mike, what's up next?
Okay, we're gonna keep going around the lake over here, but there's an elementary school over here in the neighborhood that I think is great to look at, just to see how people can access it and walk to there from the neighborhood.
All right. Let's go check it
Come
out.
on over.
All right.
Do you like having the little bike repair stations that get put out?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have had to use it before.
Yeah.
So that's good. One thing here too is some of these areas like this here on the island over there, Some of those houses are a lot more expensive, so they're your multi-million-dollar houses here.
Okay.
So you have the really nice houses, and then you got townhomes and condos right over in here, and you actually have townhomes on the island mixed in with it too. So
Okay.
what they call the life cycle housing. So you got housing types for people to age in place, not necessarily in the same house, but they can age in place in the same neighborhood.
Ah, okay.
There have been many times in my neighborhood where we've had neighbors just move a street over or two.
Right.
So it happens often. So there's a lot of credibility to that.
That's great to hear too, because a lot of people, you know, when they push back on change in their neighborhoods, when you're looking at neighborhoods, they're like, you know, no, I want to age in place. I want to stay here. And so, you know, when a community like this actually builds that into the context of the different housing types, that really helps.
Yeah. Even the whole helps build community as well too, because you can get, you know, young couples or families with kids or older, but people can help each other out with their different needs in that stage of life. So
Yeah.
everybody has young kids, then it's hard to help each other.
Yeah.
And if everybody's older, it can be harder to help each other. So having kind of that mix really helps with the community.
Let's pause here for just a
Oh, yeah.
second, and I just want to point out that we've got very high quality restrooms here that have been, you know, created, established. You know, having well done comfort facilities is so incredibly important.
When they tied into the whole theme of the water and the marina, so even the architecture of those bathrooms kind of ties into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got the park here. That's usually a pretty good hot spot for kids to come play out. When we get up to this street, we're gonna hop down the street up this way to the left here.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
But yeah, if you wanted to avoid even this street crossing, you can go down there under the bridge and not have to deal with the street.
Right.
I'm gonna go ahead and go on through. So right here, this is part of a greenway offshoot that comes off the lake as well. So this greenway connects from the lake all the way to, there's a band of open space around the edge too, that's kind of more of a natural looking open space.
Okay.
So this connects it all together. So they have what they call a string of pearls. So they have these greenways, and along the greenways, the string, they have pearls, which are like the parks. So
Right.
they call it a string of pearls.
Nice.
So they're not just park space,
Right.
they're also space you can use to get through the community.
Right.
The only thing I wish is you had a more specific bike path all the way along here.
Right.
You just have the streets and sidewalks to use. So again, not really bike specific.
Right.
That's one of the maybe shortcomings of it. I'm gonna stop us right here real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, let's pull up on this sidewalk right up here. So this is one of the few elementary schools here in Daybreak. I believe they're up to 4 for sure, that we've got 4 of them.
Okay.
Possible 5th one. But what you can see here is, compared to other elementary schools here in Utah, this one puts the front door right to where kids are going to be walking from.
Right.
So you even have these curb extensions here. So it funnels kids to the front door by means of walking rather than putting all the car parking and the drop-off zones
Yeah, yeah.
right here at the front of the school.
Yeah.
So it really incentivizes kids to walk to school that are right here in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
A lot of kids ride their bikes here as well. They just typically ride on the sidewalk. But I've flown my drone here a few times, and I've done my own little counts of kids coming out of their school just from high up, and you can count where they're going. And I've estimated about 10% of the kids get here by car, about 30% are by bus, and a big reason for that is there's a neighborhood outside of Daybreak that goes to school here. That's across a major roadway, so it's difficult for them to walk here
Right.
due to the safety concern.
Right.
But then 40% of the kids that come here are walking and biking to school. So
Oh, wow. That's pretty good.
for an American
Yeah.
school in the suburb, only 10% of kids getting here by car
Yeah.
is pretty good in my book.
Yeah.
But even with that, I still, even as a parent of a child, You know, I would actually love to see some of these streets in front of the school closed to just the school bus traffic, because sometimes you have kids trying to walk home from school. We got parents, even those 10% of cars come flying through here. And I think we should really incentivize even more to either let them drop off on the side, or if they can safely do so, walk or bike here.
Yeah. Love it. Cool.
So, it might be interesting to show you the back side too. There's a little access on the back of the school for the neighborhood on that side as well. So
Okay, let's go do it.
go on down there.
All right.
One thing I was going to mention is, I believe as part of their whole original vision, is every house within Daybreak will be 5 minutes walk from some sort of, whether it's a park or like the swimming pool that's over here. They have 5 minutes to some sort of destination within the community. So everywhere you go in Daybreak, there's somewhere nearby to go to, like this pool or parks or the village centers where you have the restaurants and other things. So.
Right.
This is the second phase of Daybreak. This is the East Lake Village. The first one was Founders Park down on the south end. But you can see here the trees are getting more mature, so you have a lot more shade. It's a lot nicer with the more mature trees here. And then all along you can see here the alleyways to the homes, and then the courtyards where kids can play. Now we're going to turn right up onto this little thing here. This is just a little walkway. Comes into the back of the school here. So kids can just walk right up here and over into the school grounds. And then you have all these eyes on the street, so to speak, around the back here.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, I got the nice play space here for the kids. Even in the summertime, kids are coming over here playing on the playground. And then you have the garages separate, and then we're going to turn down this little sidewalk connection here. You can see how they have walkable access back out to the street over here, even though this one is just a smaller sidewalk. Yeah, I got people riding bikes down the street over there. Even on a hot day, there's still a decent amount of activity. But certainly when it feels a little nicer, this place can get really bustling with people.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere you go, you have these little park spaces and houses fronting onto them, even over on this other side here. So wherever you go, there's, again, you don't always need your own big private backyard. In fact, it's more fun for the kids when they have a bunch of other kids to play with right out your front door like this.
Right.
So my house actually does have a little bit of a backyard in the back of it, but my daughter prefers to play across the street with all the other kids in the shared open space. So.
Okay.
So having private backyards doesn't necessarily bring everyone together.
Yeah.
So right here, this is another open space greenway promenade. And it leads up to down here, that's an LDS temple, but they use it as sort of a terminal vista.
Okay.
So when you're looking down the street, you actually see a building there versus not having anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing over here and check this out. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice having that terminated vista.
Yeah, that helps people understand it's not a through street, so keeps traffic volumes down, helps to even traffic calm a little bit.
Yep.
So then as we come up here, this leads us back out to the lake up here, which we're gonna go hit on that a little bit.
Okay.
Straight ahead. They did have an asphalt path here that's quite narrow, but then it comes into this park, but then kind of drops off at the playground. I wish they would have made that last little connection to the lake. But on the other hand, this street is low enough traffic.
Yeah.
It's really not too nerve-wracking to ride here. In some areas like here on a small scale, you have the ability to walk or bike through, but not drive through.
Sure.
So you go to cities in the Netherlands, they do a really good job on the macro scale of looking at traffic circulation.
Yeah.
Decreasing cut-through traffic in the entire neighborhood or community. Here you get a little bit more on the micro scale. Some of this traffic circulation kind of elements of not allowing cut-through traffic,
Right.
but not quite so much on the macro scale. So up here, so you've got a lot of the open space here. You know, again, you got kids fishing, people out kayaking on the lake there. They put these bridges in to get over to the island. Part of it's just really more placemaking. It wasn't technically necessary, but they built the lake and put them over because it makes it fun. And then, yeah, they have all the, again, the eyes on the street from the neighborhood all the way into the open spaces here. This is actually what the people locally call the duck park. A lot of ducks like to hang out here, so the kids like to come see them. Hi. Oh, thank you. But a lot of people like to actually come out here and watch the sunset together.
All right, yeah.
Taking a walk. But you can see kind of there's some of the manicured grass, but they put a lot of this kind of more native grass in here. So it's not everything has to be totally manicured landscaping, especially here in Utah where we're so dry.
Right.
We have way too much grass here that's manicured.
Yeah.
But they've done a really good job showing us how it can be done to do open spaces without all the manicured lawn.
Right. Yeah. The wilder, the better.
Yep.
It doesn't all need to be manicured.
So right here, I want to point out there's this big roundabout. This is the other arterial road to the south, it's Daybreak Parkway.
Okay.
But they've kind of separated cyclists and pedestrians from the car traffic a little bit. So we're going to go down through these tunnels here.
Okay.
They've now put art installations under them to make them more fun and enjoyable to go through. Makes you feel a little more comfortable.
Okay.
And also what this does is it comes up as a roadway up to this roundabout. But then they split it off into two one-way couplets. So actually crossing the road over here, you're just crossing the one direction. It's still 2 lanes, which is not ideal. And they should have curb extensions, but it's a lot easier to cross than a big full-on STROAD coming along. So
yeah.
you're not having a Frogger to cross tons of lanes. You just get across the 2 and you're into this village center. All these townhomes and beyond it is a commercial area we'll get into. That's called Soda Row. It's kind of village center down here.
All right.
This is also a favorite fishing spot for the kids. We're gonna go down this way. And they love coming out here and fishing, so you get a lot of kids out here fishing.
Yeah.
And definitely get a lot of people walking and biking through down here, but you can see you don't even have to worry about this big roadway when you want to get to the south side of Daybreak over here. And this art installation was 3 or 4 years ago, got put in. It's actually interesting too. Some of these tunnels would get little bits of graffiti, but once they put the artwork up, then you really didn't see the graffiti coming back.
Okay. It's good to know.
Yeah. Not to say it'll prevent it forever, but it definitely discourages that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
And then they've put these paintings on these other 2 tunnels as well. So these 2 bridges or culverts here are the 2 different directions of the large road above. But you don't even have to worry about it, just go right underneath. We're gonna go straight ahead here, but this trail to the left here goes down to the entrance of Daybreak. I wish it continued past that, but as soon as you hit the edge of Daybreak, then kind of enter your typical kind of American suburb, big roads.
Right.
You know, exposed bike lanes, all that stuff down there.
You're outside the bubble.
Yep. So this is kind of the oasis up here.
Yeah.
But it's not very nice once you leave it. There are nice areas in other parts of the whole metro area here, but it does definitely notice it when you leave Daybreak. So these areas right down here, this is part of the original phase of Daybreak Founders Park.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a left here. Definitely gotta watch the scooter and bike traffic come down here. But because bikes are awesome, you don't need a traffic signal right there to get through. So right here is pretty cool. This is another one of the big long greenways that goes along this original part of Daybreak. There's also a branch of it that goes down here with parks, playground, community gardens, volleyball courts, little splash pad here. But what they've done is they didn't connect the street here for cars, they just put the path connection here.
Right.
So this really keeps a lot of these neighborhood streets to a low volume.
Yeah.
So it's super nice. If you're walking around your bike and get right through, you're driving, you're not able to cut through here. You got to go all the way down and around.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
we'll continue on up this way. And down there is the original elementary school that's connected to the Daybreak Rec Center.
Right.
So that's all right down there, which is really nice and
Okay.
accessible. Now I got to hoof it up a hill. Oh, not so great in the heat. Up here, we'll go off one more block this way to the left. On this path, we'll take a left-hand turn. But they've done the same sort of thing here where it's kind of like native vegetation. You got sagebrush, which is common here in Utah. Some of these juniper trees. Again, on the more of the micro scale, but there are many of these areas where you can cut through on the path, but not for driving.
Right.
So in order to get to that street over there, you have to go up and around
Yeah.
to be able to reach that.
Very cool.
But yeah, I just always love the view. Even though you have all these people living here, that view right there, you feel like you're a little bit in a nature area next to the city.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, let's go on over this way. We're gonna turn left on this street. I just like this street better than that other one because the trees are bigger.
Okay.
But we're gonna get over to that traffic light over there. So this was the first sort of neighborhood commercial, or I guess they call it a village center here, that they built. So this one right here called Soda Row.
Okay.
I believe they started construction on it around 2007. A lot of these buildings have slowly come over the years, getting built out. They have restaurants, you got like barbershop, dance studio. In fact, this is where my band played over the last weekend.
Oh, good.
Right
Awesome.
outside, creating some street activation.
Nice.
And we'll cross over that way. Sometimes I find myself still going on the sidewalks, especially when I'm used to having my kids with me. I don't like,
Yeah.
I don't big, but yeah, this is that arterial road, but this is just half of it.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as bad as a whole 5-lane section coming through here. I've looked at South Jordan's kind of speed data here, and this road's 30 miles per hour. But people actually do drive 30 miles per hour. A lot of cases, having a big wide road, even with 30 mile an hour speed limit, people are going 40, 45.
Yeah.
So not ideal. You know, it's better to have a 20 mile an hour speed limit, or operational speed, I should say, when you have people outside of a car crossing the street, but this is certainly better than we've seen elsewhere. Yeah, they have a lot of the outdoor dining options around here. We're gonna have a little event venue over here where people go when they get married. They'll have a reception there. Another restaurant, the Bar and Grill here. Pretty popular option. We'll just stop right here for a second. So right here, obviously you can see a lot of businesses. You have some offices even over some of the restaurants and a little dessert shop here. But it also ties right into that central open space. So just as the Harmons was right across the street, so is this. So they kind of anchor that open space with activity and destinations to go to.
Right.
So that makes those trails, even though they may seem to be recreational focused with the original design, but they do a really good job of connecting all the neighborhoods to these destinations here. So you get a pretty fair amount of people who will walk or ride their bikes over here. If I had to guess, I'd probably say more people walk to some of these centers than actually even ride bikes, but you still get a good number of bikes coming through.
Sure. Excellent.
So
I love it.
Oh, and I do like, they did a bit of a kind of a continuous crossing here. They brought this little connection of the street up to the sidewalk level.
Right.
Made it look more like the sidewalk, so it almost effectively acts like a plaza space that then cars slowly drive through.
Yeah.
But if I were to do an improvement to this area, it would be to just close that off to cars. And
Yeah.
they've closed this road off for events. Quite often they'll do a farmer's market here every weekend that they close this street off here. Sometimes it seems nice to just permanently close it off and make a nice plaza space. But
Yeah.
I do know some of the businesses here, even knowing it's just a few parking spots, they perceive they need them.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
So we will head over this way. Up here, in fact, you can see more people kayaking down there.
Oh yeah.
But we'll head down there. There's a little small marina for kayaks and canoes that residents here can just go check out.
Okay.
So you've been to a lot of places. How does this feel to you around here?
This definitely reminds me a lot of Stapleton in Denver.
Oh yeah, yep, very similar.
Very similar, and similar challenges too with the bigger STROADs
Yeah, yep.
cutting through it.
We're gonna
So yeah.
come off right here. Yeah, I haven't been to Stapleton, but I've looked at it on Google, and yeah, you can see like the King Supers and
Yeah.
the kind of STROAD going around that, similar
Yeah.
kind of a thing. Yeah, we're gonna take a left down here and go over that way.
Of course, they don't call it Stapleton anymore. Now they call it Central Park.
Oh yeah. This is a pretty recent addition down here. This is just a couple years ago that they finished this, put that little plaza space up top. I see a lot of people getting their ice cream and stuff and coming hanging out.
Yeah.
And then the boat harbor here is more permanent. They used to operate out of like a storage container a little ways down here.
Yeah.
But now they got this permanent facility.
Same.
Very cool.
And then even some of the architecture here is kind of makes you feel like you're part of the Marina district that they're
Yeah.
kind of going after.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, they just redid this path and widened it out a little bit. That's good. Come on, you left. So earlier I was kind of talking about safe system, vision zero kind of stuff.
Thanks.
Daybreak has done, in my opinion, the best systematically for a place in Utah, just by having the narrower streets throughout, not just in specific locations. Other than there were just a couple of months ago, we had a truck barrel down here and crash into the lake, and the man unfortunately passed away from it.
Oh, interesting.
Other than that time,
Yeah.
there hasn't been a fatality within Daybreak outside of the state highway in 15 years.
Okay.
So overall, a pretty good track record of roadway safety. So
Right.
that's a really nice thing about it here. But doesn't mean the risk potential isn't there. But,
Yeah,
certainly
with
much.
some of those higher speed, multi-lane,
Yep.
one-way roads.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, eye roll.
Yep.
You know,
So
the worst thing you could do.
yeah, punch that right through the center of the
Yeah.
town
Punch.
center or something else like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice now that it's starting to cool off a little bit. More people are starting to get out here.
Yeah.
So.
As we thought.
But it's fun, like even in the holidays, like around the holidays, a lot of these houses will just get decked out with decorations and lights.
Yeah, yeah.
So people will come here and they'll just walk around all the houses and see all the
Yeah.
decorations. Pretty fun.
Just a wonderful setting to take in.
Yeah.
So if you were to wave your magic wand, what would you change?
Oh, I would definitely do some more bike-specific elements,
Yep.
and I would really look at a lot of the traffic circulation elements.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people, and it's more so here than other places around it. There are more people walking and biking here.
Right.
It's not quite to the level like, you know, Boulder, Colorado, or Davis, California, or some of the Dutch cities. But I think a lot of that has to do with the traffic circulation.
Right.
So when it comes down to it, you know, people want to get out and enjoy their journey. They may choose the bike even if it's less convenient. But somebody wants to just hurry, you know, get somewhere. They're just kind of used to hopping in the car still.
Yeah.
So I'd say it's probably still a little, you know, caters to the car enough that people are choosing that more often than getting around by bike or foot.
Right.
Hi. It's right here. These streets, in my opinion, are actually unnecessarily wide because not very many people park on them. So,
Right.
but there is one street up here that was narrower, which is the busier one, which is kind of funny. But
Huh. And I love what we just, you know, cut through there. We had just this nice little
yeah,
bike connectivity that dropped us onto this street, and I think that that's the whole point, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
when you have these little, you know, passageways that enable people to take the active choice, whether it's walking or biking, it really makes all the difference in the world. It's a car trip avoided.
yeah, yep.
So,
And yeah, I was going to mention that back there. Let's see, we're going to take a left here. But yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out. It was on my list to show you that having that cut through, again, I'd call it still on more of a micro scale.
yeah,
This whole neighborhood right here,
yeah.
kind of geared towards 55 and older.
Okay,
So that's why there's far fewer cars parked around. And,
interesting.
but
I'm gonna pan the camera
Oh,
around
yeah.
so that everybody can see that this street too is nice.
this street here
And
is
narrow.
narrower than the others.
Yeah,
And they get choked down quite a bit at these intersections. So it really does make it feel a bit more of a human scale.
yeah, definitely.
I've definitely noticed riding on a street like this versus some of the wider streets you see elsewhere here in Utah.
Yeah,
Here, people driving are more patient and they slow down and they wait for a good place to either pass or turn. On the other streets, they'll sometimes just whiz past you at higher speeds.
yeah. I mean, it's just the design. The design is right. The design is narrow, and it encourages that, you know, more courteous behavior.
Yep, absolutely.
Imagine that.
Yeah, who would have thought
It's
that?
like the same person is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde situation. The same person is aggressive in one setting and yet very patient in another. And what really makes the difference is design.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Not
right.
always.
No.
For those of you screaming at your screen saying, not always. Yes, I get it. Not always.
There are some people that are traffic engineer in Lehigh calls the bad apples that just are gonna push it, but
Yeah.
the general population, you can really affect the behaviors with the design.
Yeah.
So here, going down that way and up this way, we're gonna turn left. This is what they call the art walk.
Okay.
We've got quite a few art installations. You can see some down there.
Oh, yeah.
We'll turn up this way.
Excellent.
As you stroll along this path or ride along on the bike, got these art installations. My daughter always loves to check them out along the way.
Yeah. All right. Let's check some of these out. Here's one.
And they tend to change through some of them as well.
Yeah.
Seems like almost every other week I'm seeing a new piece of art down here. Sometimes
Yeah.
I swap them out with different pieces, so you never know what you're gonna see.
Right. Keep it fresh.
Yep. And you can see this neighborhood really doesn't connect much out of it, so it really keeps those streets quiet. And it makes the path here nicer too. You don't have a bunch of street conflict points.
Right.
Fewer conflicts going up here.
There's Ronnie. All right. A nice little natural area here.
Yeah.
And then we've got some more art installations. Very cool. And then
we got a raised crossing right here.
Yeah, raised crossing and a kids adventure area. Nice.
So my daughter definitely loves this park.
Yeah.
Crawling through all the little concrete tubes and stuff over here.
Oh yeah. It's neat, you know, the playgrounds now that are like these concrete and wood and adventure areas versus the old plastic,
yep.
You know, playgrounds. Very cool. I love it. Hey, Mike, this has been so much fun. Thank you very much for showing me, Daybreak, your wonderful community. Any final thoughts that you'd like to share for the audience, with the audience?
The only thing I'd like to say is places like this have been very successful, and I just hope that we see more of this in other areas all around the country here. So
yeah, and as you mentioned, you know, it's not perfect, but at the same time, there's enough that is keeping y'all here and continuing to sing the praises of this.
It's good enough that my wife says she doesn't want to move away from here. So
fantastic. Again, thank you so much for showing us around,
absolutely.
And we'll touch base with you again in a couple days because we're going to go see what you're all doing down in Lehigh.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey everyone, thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this latest episode from the Active Towns 2025 Summer Amtrak Tour around North America. Hey, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, I'd be honored to have you subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscription button down below and ring that notifications bell. And folks, if you are enjoying this content here on the Active Towns channel, please consider supporting my efforts by becoming an Active Towns ambassador. Hey, it's super easy to do. Just click on that join button right here in YouTube down below, and you can leave a YouTube super thanks here as well, or navigate over to activetowns.org. Click on the support tab at the top of the page, and there's several different options, including making a donation to the nonprofit, buy me a coffee, as well as Patreon. And patrons do get early and ad-free access to all this video content. And again, I have to send a huge thank you to all of my Active Towns ambassadors supporting this channel financially. I simply could not do this without you. Thank you all so very much. And to close us out, I've got some B-roll as we roll back towards the train station.